All right, so we got Secret Invasion Season 1, Episode 2. Very excited about this one. I absolutely loved the first episode. I thought it did a great job of setting the tone for what we could possibly see from this show. They started by taking a risk I didn't think they were going to take, and that is obviously killing Maria Hill. I didn't think that was going to happen. And even now, it's like, is she dead? Is she a Skrull? We didn't see her shapeshift back into a Skrull, but they just couldn't have showed it. We really don't know what's going on. I'm also really liking the villain so far. He's very, very intriguing. Gravik, I think his name is. He's soft-spoken in the most terrifying way possible, and it works really, really well for a villain of this show, especially whenever the whole undertone is who can you trust, who is really a Skrull, who is not. But before we get started, I just want to say, if you guys are new to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button, like button, turning on post notifications, whatever you want to do to support the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you want to see the full-length version of this reaction or any other reaction that I have up on the channel, you guys will find it right here on YouTube on my membership page. So if you guys could check that out as well, I would greatly appreciate it. So without further ado, I'm super excited. So let's go. Oh, interesting.
This thing looked like Coulson.
Talk like him too.
Shapeshifters.
We can't trust anyone.
I'm gonna be honest, I forget a lot of the events of this movie, especially towards the end. I know they go off looking for another home, but some details are a little blurry. Interesting, they're still using like the half Marvel intro.
His parents were killed in the last stand against the Kree. He escaped from behind enemy lines.
I assume he saw Fury as like a father figure. That's why he's so hell-bent on revenge, it seems.
Gravik, sorry to hear about your parents.
The de-aging is really good for Disney Plus.
For those of you who braved the journey here to Earth, you did so for one reason. This man.
Mace Windu.
While you work to keep my home safe, Carol Danvers and I will find you a new one.
The constant mentioning of her makes me feel like she's going to appear in this show, maybe in the finale, but who knows.
You keep your word,
I'll keep mine.
Yep.
I'm an American. I'm an American.
Yeah, because they want that conflict. Who's this? Oh, okay. Makes sense. Yeah, so obviously by now, I'm sure most of you know, the intro was AI generated. But I did see that artists did work on it. It was just used as a tool almost, AI was. I don't have as much of a problem with them using AI as a tool to help them, but if this really was completely all AI generated, no human work involved, I can't get on board with that. And I get they wanted it to feel unnatural, like AI feels right now. They could have also made it feel unnatural with, you know, humans animating it. Like I said, I really don't know for sure what they did, so I know this is off topic. I really hope they bring back the Netflix Daredevil intro for the Daredevil Born Again show. They have to, or at least reinvigorate that title sequence in a different way, but like something that is a nod to fans of the Netflix series. Yeah, I figured as much. He's reeling.
On these long rides, me and my mother would make up games. Tell me something I don't know.
That was one of her favorites.
I see where this is going.
Tell me something I don't know about you and Susie. Me and Susie had a standing game of doctor.
So I made up something crazy.
Me and Susie saw a bullfrog with polka dots. Even though I'd lied through my teeth, told her everything she needed to know about me and Susie.
Tell me something I don't know about the destruction of Skrullos. You know everything.
But does he?
Tell me something I don't know about the Skrulls that fled.
They're here.
Who's here?
All of us.
Wait.
$1 million?
You lied to me. Hey, we were being hunted across the universe. I had two choices. I could let my people be annihilated or summon them here to Earth. What would you have done? This ain't about me.
The acting is fantastic. I mean, they're both powerhouses, but
We've been in war with each other since we could walk upright. There is not enough room or tolerance on this planet for another species.
I mean, he's right.
Matter of fact, neither is this train compartment. I think this is just
Even if they could coexist for a little bit, you have no idea what's going to happen later. They're more powerful than humans, stronger, and if they all become super scrolls, then shit.
Oh my God.
I like seeing this side of Nick Fury.
Elizabeth.
Were you there?
Does she know what her daughter did? Yeah. Like, really?
We were there trying to stop the attack. Someone set a trap. Someone wanted to hurt me,
Yeah.
so they hurt her.
This is what I mean. This is like so well acted. It's so well written.
All signs point towards imminent retaliation from Russia for what the Kremlin regards as an all-out declaration of war by the Americans.
They're all saying we had something in Moscow.
Shooter McGavin.
Oh my God!
How did you know Fury would be there?
I didn't. Well, not to a certainty. But I hoped.
It's like he's so menacing, but like so laid back.
Just get me to the council meeting. I want to see their faces while Moscow's still burning.
Is the council like world leaders that are scrolls?
I'm not out in an hour. Shoot him in the head.
Tuh. Yeah, man, he don't give a shit.
Members of the council.
Yeah, shooter's a scroll.
I also didn't get a formal invitation, Mr. Secretary General. Madam Prime Minister.
These are all people of influence, not necessarily in power, because he seems to just be a news anchor.
Better to behave as a human than as a dog.
I quite like dogs. In fact, I prefer them. Dogs aren't hypocrites. And they don't lie. They don't lock each other up in cages.
Perhaps we should get on with what we came here for.
Recent acts of terror in cities across the globe, most notably in Moscow, severely undermine the stability that this council seeks to preserve.
Do they not know it was him?
You murdered over 2,000.
Okay, so they do know.
Mushkim pix kholos bichorakias. Udrikag makel mekik. Kajbaju ashuj kajushak One hepug mir unral. Garuma arwar mij nazgajak.
I mean, Earth can be your home. Just gotta wear human skin. Like, the humans don't even know they're there. I mean, Triumph, think of all the crazy things they've seen over the last decade.
And what happens if the Avengers return?
You don't think I thought about that?
They really must be
Put your face
disbanded. I mean, I guess they are all over the place right now.
We need to streamline our chain of command. Democracy is fine for peacetime, but whilst at war, we need a single commander whose war power is total and unchecked.
My God.
Therefore, I nominate Gravik to the post of Skrull General.
Traitor. Who do you think you're talking to? I'm the commander of NATO. I can mobilize 1 million troops at the snap of a...
All those in favor of Gravik as our new general will submit.
It's like mirroring the opening.
We did not end up homeless refugees because we were unwilling to wage war. We ended up homeless refugees because we were too willing.
Yeah, you can see, like, in Captain Marvel, why they're perceived as the villains at first, because they're so willing.
You go in peace, sister. You'll not be harmed.
That didn't sound very promising.
It's Gravik. The council just voted him general. He has control of our people and our future.
You're talking awfully close to that, man. Best spy ever.
Shirley, set up the mate. Just tell him I want to talk about my daughter.
Try to convince him to leave her out of it. She seems like she's a part of the cause, but at the same time has some reservations. I think she's just trying to figure out what's really going on. Because I'm sure all of these scrolls are kept in the dark about most things that happen. Because these are just all refugees, right? They aren't a part of the resistance, right?
You don't have it.
Harvest wasn't there. Gravik has given me multiple locations for the harvest, all of them empty.
Is that what's gonna turn them into Super Skrulls? Rhodey!
Respectfully, Prime Minister, I can't take the authenticity of Russian-supplied photos at face value. Alleged presence, madam. Slovakia rolls its eyes at me one more time, I'm gonna put on the suit and carpet bomb it. Until such time as you can present an actual shred of evidence to back those concerns up, I'm afraid sensitivity is all you're gonna be getting from us. Rhodes.
Nice suit, Armani.
Rioni.
Is he in here?
Well, my other suit's made of titanium, so this actually constitutes considerable savings.
You sound frustrated. What's the matter? Croatia talking crap?
Slovakia.
Well, carpet bomb their ass.
He must have been listening. Why is this light yellow?
Are the Russians really trying to pin this on me?
Your face is all over CCTV footage.
I was there trying to stop the attack.
Oh, well, excellent job at that, by the way. 2,000 dead so far. Number will probably triple once they clear all the rubble.
There's a lot of people for that little of an explosion. Like, I get there were a lot of people there, but explosion really wasn't that big, was it? I don't know.
What do you mean, how much do I know about them?
What if I told you they were all spies?
Hydra?
Yeah, if Hydra was a bunch of green guys who could shapeshift into your daddy. So how long have you known about them?
About 15 years ago, I was part of an eyes-only top-secret presentation. It's about a shape-shifting alien species that had sent a few of its light ships crashing down to Earth.
I think 15 years ago at this point in the timeline, it went from Terrence Howard to Don Cheadle. But they explain it like that, it wouldn't make any sense.
This is my war, Brody. I need you to back me on this. Men who look like us don't get promoted because of who our daddies know. Every ounce of power we wrestle from the vice grip of the mediocre Alexander Pierces who run this world.
Mediocre? Wouldn't call Alexander Pierce mediocre. They had quite the trouble with him.
I'm sorry, I didn't know I had travel plans.
I made them on your behalf.
Have you even listened to a word that I've said?
Yeah, I have. To be able to sit across from a man we greatly admire, with whom we share an entire professional, personal, ancestral history with, and to tell him without any reservation that he's fired. That's what this moment right here.
Damn.
Is it you? To fire me?
Nobody sent me. I volunteered. You earned all this smoke, brother.
This seems a little out of character for Rhodey. Could Rhodey be a Skrull?
And you wonder why you're out.
I'm Nick Fury. Even when I'm out, I'm in.
Yes, he is. We never really see Nick Fury have those kind of moments, like where he just sits and reflects on what happened.
Yes, and now that the door is unlocked, what does that tell you about me and doors?
Where is your safe house? Quick!
Didn't your mother ever warn you could lose an eye by beating your meat like that?
Comedy's great. It doesn't feel forced at all. Feels very natural. She's just super cheeky.
Now, shall we do this the easy way or the other way?
I'm gonna break every bone in your body.
The other way it is.
Oh! Okay, Marvel. Trying to get us ready for Deadpool 3.
Well, now
I think they'd show that. Groot, Frost Beast, Call Obsidian,
What are you doing in there?
Extremis, as in like AIM? Are those going to be like the Super Skrull powers?
Our man on the inside located Brogan. Let's go then.
But everyone talks when their blood starts to cook at 160 degrees centigrade. You a smart one?
Doesn't seem like it.
Put in my arm. Don't care.
He's building a machine.
What kind of machine?
I think it's to make us stronger.
Way stronger. Bro, if they successfully turn somebody into a Super Skrull, or at least even one of them, they're going to need an Avenger to show up.
Принеси мне колбасы, давай, иди, быстрее!
This is like the first Marvel show or movie that we've seen like blood sprays after gunshots. MCU.
Sounds like your lift is here.
Oh! Yeah, this is a lot more brutal. They're showing the blood. They're like showing everything. Not everything, but you know what I mean. Who is she talking to?
What'd you tell him?
Nothing, just lies.
Nothing. Just lies.
That's all I swear.
I think he's gonna kill him regardless whether or not he knows that's true. The dude just hanging on the hook in the back. Yeah, he knows that he gave up some information.
Keep driving.
How did they find our safe house?
That's crazy. Like, there was even a blood spray on that. I mean, of course, it was blurred in the background, but, like, they're up in the game a little bit. That was a great shot, too. Does no one else, like, have a gun? Because they keep giving it back to him. Is his wife a Skrull? Because, I mean, he said he didn't have a wife, but we all knew he did. And was that the same lady from the beginning that brought in Gravik?
Aren't you forgetting something?
Does he even know she's a Skrull? I'm sure he does.
Better?
Is that where they're gonna leave it? Look, I gotta say, I'm really liking this so far. I'm really digging the more serious tone. It's darker, it's more brutal than I thought. I mean, we were talking about that throughout the reaction, but it's surprising to me what they're not shying away from. And I like that. I mean, they're getting us prepared for the R-rated content that they have down the pipeline, so I'm excited to see how much they're going to up their game in the rest of the series whenever it comes to that kind of stuff. But I thought this was a fantastic episode. I thought it was better than the first one. I thought it did a better job of setting up the Skrulls, and obviously that's going to come as the show progresses. It's going to do a better job, and you're going to get a better understanding of what's actually happening. But I really like the way that this is traversing. It started off slow, didn't really know what was going on in the first episode, but I still enjoyed it, and then the ending happened. And it was like, oh wow, this is serious. They killed off one of their biggest characters in this franchise, or at least a character that has been around the longest in this franchise. So right off the bat, I knew that the risks and the stakes were going to be very, very high. And I gotta say, the dude who plays Gravik, I'm gonna try to find his name. If I can. I can't find his name, but he does a fantastic job playing him in such a menacing but soft-spoken way. It's terrifying because he has like an almost baby face to him, and you don't expect somebody that looks calm and collected to be that terrifying. So it's very, very interesting to see that. At first, in the first episode, I was going to say maybe Gravik is Nick Fury's son, like biological son, and that would make sense if we would have seen the wife Skrull reveal beforehand, but we didn't. And obviously she brought in Gravik in the beginning and said his parents were killed, so that's all set aside. But he was definitely a father figure to him in some way, and it makes a lot of sense as to why he's angry at him. I get both sides, I really do, and that's how you make a compelling argument and a compelling story at the end. It's also really interesting to see that Gravik is okay with killing other Skrulls for the cause of the Skrulls, but Talos is not. I think that's very, very interesting. Also, I'm thinking Rhodey's a Skrull because that seemed a little bit out of character for Rhodey. And he said 15 years ago he had experiences with the Skrulls. Not necessarily experiences, but he learned of their existence on Earth 15 years ago. And that's seems to be the time in the MCU whenever it went from Terrence Howard to Don Cheadle. So they could do something with that. I don't know. I wouldn't really like it because it wouldn't make any sense because they're different faces, obviously. So the characters wouldn't recognize him as Rhodey. So it really wouldn't make any sense, but the time period does line up a little bit. Yeah, but this is the first Marvel show that I've been invested in a while. I'm actually excited week to week. Unlike the last one. And while it's a slow burn, it has so much weight and momentum to it, and the momentum is slowly building throughout this show. I mean, we're only 2 episodes in, we have 4 episodes left. Things can get crazy real quick. And from what I've heard, and it's been accurate so far, each of these episodes is an hour long. So there's no like 35-minute bullshit with these Disney Plus episodes, which I'm sick and tired of. One episode is an hour and 2 minutes, and then the next one is 37. It doesn't make any sense. Just make it 6 hours total, please. That's where I'm going to leave it off to you guys. Hopefully you did enjoy. If you guys did, please consider hitting that subscribe button, like button, turn on post notifications. Whatever you want to do to support the channel, I would greatly appreciate it. And if you guys want to see the full-length version of this reaction or any other reaction that I have on the channel, you guys will find it right here on YouTube on my membership page. So if you guys can check that out as well, I would greatly appreciate it. So hopefully you guys did enjoy, and I'll see you all in the next one.